welcome back to my channel. It's Michelle. Today I am giving you the books that I did not finish in 2019. Last year in 2018, I decided that I would unapologetically do not finish books anymore. I was torturing myself finishing books that I did not like because of the hype or whatever, and last year I decided not to do that. So this year I decided I would continue to not finish books, but I would also not rate them. So I haven't rated any of these books, I just haven't finished them, so I thought I would share them with you and why I did that, and there's quite a few, so I'm gonna try to get through this pretty fast. First book that I did not finish was Challenger Deep by Neil Shusterman. I was reading this on ebook and it was just not captivating me, and someone suggested that I try it in audio, so I am thinking about doing that and trying Challenger Deep again on audio because I know it won a library prize. So I'm always interested in that. We will see. The next book that I did not finish was I'm Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter by Erica L. Sanchez. I did listen to this on audiobook and the narrator or the voice or the writing, I cannot decide. Anything that was being said was a complaint. Almost every sentence of this book was a complaint, and it was not boding well with me. I was not enjoying it at all. I remember I was listening to it when I was in the shower, and I got out of the shower to stop it. So that is not good, and I will not be reading that one again. The next book that I DNF'd was Under Rose-Tainted Skies by Louise Gornell. I was buddy reading this with someone and I was not into it. It felt like another Everything by Nicola Yoon, which I really like that, but I only needed to read it once. So I didn't like the voice. I didn't like anything about this, so no. Black Iris by Elliot Wake is the next one that I DNF'd. A lot of my people that I really trust, reviewers on Goodreads, have given this such high ratings, and I was reading it and I couldn't get through the writing or the voice or anything, so I don't think I even got 100 pages in. When I DNF books, I try to get at least 100 pages in, so I feel accomplished, but this one I don't think I did. The next book that I DNF'd was Dodger by Terry Pratchett. I read this for book club, and it's historical fiction, and I also think it's considered middle grade, and I did not vibe with that at all. It was not good. I've never read Terry Pratchett before, and probably after trying to finish this book will not do that again, so yeah. Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Malascacco. I was really excited to read this. I thought it would be something right up my alley, but the main character, I think her name was Audrey Rose, was so the I'm not that kind of girl character, and she totally was that kind of girl. Like, I don't know. Ugh. It took me forever. I kept going back and forth, like, should I read this? Should I not? And now I know when I'm thinking that, just DNF it. So it took me almost a month to decide to DNF this. I did not like that. The next book that I DNF'd was I'll Be Gone in the Dark by Michelle I didn't write this down. I don't know why. But I didn't like the writing of this. I know it was published after her death, so it was like taken and Michelle McNamara. I know that it was published after her death, so not all the things were like put together, and I totally feel that. I didn't like the way it like went back and forth, and she put in her own details when it was about a serial killer, so I just didn't like this one. Next book that I DNF'd was Dorothy Must Die by Danielle Page. This was another book club pick, and I did not like it. It was Wizard of Oz fan fiction, and I am not a big fan of the Wizard of Oz to begin with, so it just didn't work for me. Four Dead Queens by Astrid Schultz. This is fantasy. I tweeted out something that said, I know that if a book starts out with a map in the front, it's not the book for me. And that is 100% true, and this book had a map in the front, and I did make it 100 pages, and I was completely lost the whole time. Fantasy is not my thing, so yeah. The Lost Coast by Amy Rose Capetta, another book club pick. This was like magical realism, and it was female, which is something I'm always about, but I got 100 pages in and set it down for 2 days and never picked it back up. It was just like confusing. There were too many characters. I didn't know who was who and what was what and what was going on. The next book is Words in Deep Blue by Kath Crowley. This was set in Australia, I'm pretty sure, and for some reason I have a hard time with books that are not set in America. I know that's like a me thing and it's super stupid, but that's where I am. And it was about like this boy and a girl, and the girl likes the boy. Anyway, I've read it a billion times before, so I decided I didn't want to read it and I DNF'd it. And the last book that I DNF'd was Coming Up for Air by Miranda Canali. She has written 1.5 billion like romance sports books, and this was the first one that I had ever picked up, and the writing was all tell and no show, right? Yes. She wasn't showing it, she was literally like introducing a character and telling the entire character's backstory to you, and the writing was just not for me, and I decided to DNF it. So those are all the books I DNF'd in 2019. Could have been worse, could have been better, and I will not lie to you, I have marked all of these as red for my Goodreads challenge because I can and I will. But I have DNF'd 12 books this year. So I've definitely, I think last year I DNF'd a lot more. So I'm trying to pick books that I think I'm going to actually like and not DNF. Like the goal is obviously not to DNF books. But yeah, those are the books I DNF'd in 2019, hoping to DNF less in 2020, but stay tuned, we'll see you at the end of 2020. Thanks for watching my video. See you in my best books of 2019 video.